Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Marketing Mix. This week, we are going to be talking about Facebook ads, and I've got the lovely Catherine George with me today, who is an ads expert. And Catherine and I actually met through the She Means Business program that Facebook runs, and Catherine is still a She Means Business trainer. So before we get on to talking to Catherine and having her introduce herself, I just want to plug the Marketing Mix in 2 weeks' time. We've got, I'm going to have a guest on, Joanna Michaels, actually, who is an expert on the psychology of social media. So she talks about a lot of interesting stuff around why we might use social media, how we use it, and maybe the effects that it has on us. So put that in your calendars for the 6th of April. So without much further adu, I'd like to introduce Catherine. She runs an agency called Oh So Social. I'll just let Catherine introduce herself and tell you a bit about her and what she does.
So hi everyone. Hi Manel, thank you for having me. So my name is Catherine George. I am the founder of Oh So Social. We are international multi-award winning social media marketing experts. So we do strategy, consultancy, and kind of all things social. We are down in sunny Cornwall, and yeah, that's us really.
Now, one thing that you've not mentioned, because I've said you're a Facebook ads expert, is that I'm right in saying you're a lead blueprint trainer. So can you tell us a little bit more about what that means?
Yeah, so I'm one of a handful of Facebook blueprint lead trainers. So that means I got invited by Facebook to go up to London a couple of years ago now and do some kind of exclusive training. And what we were picked for knowledge of platform. So the amount of kind of work we do on the platform and a certain level of expertise. So that Facebook then put us through some of their kind of training where we learned more about the platform, learned the way that they deliver. And we now get access to exclusive content on behalf of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and we deliver free training. So if anyone wants to join us, my Facebook group has got a catchy name of Social Media Training with Facebook Blueprint Lead Trainer Catherine George.
Yeah. But also what we were talking about just before, which I think everyone should go and check out, is Catherine has an online training platform, I think I'm right in saying, called Oh So Savvy, and it's got some really great self-paced courses on there for social media. So if you Google Oh So Savvy, you'll be able to find that. And I know there's some free stuff and there's some paid for stuff. But the free stuff I've had a quick look at and it looks great. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, so Savvy is a great little resource for anyone who kind of wants to get into social media marketing. There's lots of free courses. There's some more paid, more technical courses when you're ready for it. And there's a membership option, if you want to kind of do it that way. So yeah, it's ohsosavvy.com.
Fab. So let's get on to why we're here, Facebook ads. You'll see the banner scrolling. So if you want to ask a question, just type it into the comments and I will pose it to Catherine and you will appear on screen. So first of all, why would a business advertise on Facebook? What's the point in doing that?
So the key kind of reason we see people advertise on Facebook is because they're ready to kind of take their social media to the next level. So organic is very much the introduction to social media marketing. It's the place that everyone begins, but there is only so much that organic social media will bring you. And that's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's not because businesses aren't doing anything wrong. It's because that's the nature of the platforms. So you do get a limited reach from organic. You can still see great return. However, when you're ready to kind of go up a level, when you're ready to really increase your return, when you're ready to kind of move people down your sales funnel or maybe even reach new audiences, that's kind of when we see advertising take its place. But I always have to stress is like, do it when you've got a clear goal. So loads of people always ring me and go, oh, I boosted a post and I didn't get any return. It's like, okay, well, what was the purpose? Why did you boost this post? What did you want it to achieve? And because Facebook told you to is not a good enough answer. You need to have a really clear goal of like, well, I was looking to sell more season passes. I was looking to get more event bookings. I just wanted more people to know about me. but you have to have that clear goal. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing good money away.
So you just mentioned a phrase there, which I know what it means, but perhaps you can explain it to people watching. You talked about the sales funnel, and can you talk a bit about the sales funnel and adverts and how the two work together?
Yeah. So a sales funnel is a very business term. It's a very marketing term, and traditionally, it's the element of it's a funnel. And it's the process of taking someone from not knowing about you at the very top of your funnel to converting them right at the very bottom.
So for them to pay you for something.
Yeah. So traditionally, there's lots of different touch points. These could be email marketing. These could be website. These could be social media posts. I don't think that's a very helpful definition. So I like to compare sales funnels to dating. So you don't ask someone to marry you on the first date. You court them. You could be dating 5 or 6 people in one night, depending on what you're up to. Virtual dates, you can cram them all in. But you court people, you get to know them, you build relationships, you go out for dinner, you have more conversations with them. You go through that process of going, no, he's not right for me, or she's not right for me, and you work it down. So social media is very different to all other marketing that traditionally had all these different touch points. Social media is a constant conversation. So it sits along your whole sales funnel. And it is that texting someone in the morning going, oh, I was thinking about you. It's that, oh, great to see you this evening. It is building those relationships. And your adverts can sit along any point of that. However, if you want really good return on investment, you bring them in the final step of that sales funnel. So it's that point where someone's considered you, they visited your website 3 or 4 times, they're waiting for a trigger point to become a customer. That's the most effective time to put your adverts in. And it's a great opportunity to push a really targeted advert that will kind of get them over the line. You're ready to ask them out. You're ready to get them to purchase from you.
Brilliant. So you mentioned goals. Like whenever I talk about goals, small business owners kind of go, oh crap, do I have to set a goal? But I know Facebook kind of helps you with that. They have some set goals that you can choose from. So can you explain a bit about the goals and what people might choose?
Yeah, so in Ads Manager, Facebook splits the sales funnel down beautifully. So you have consideration, awareness, consideration, conversions. Don't tell anyone I forgot that, because I talk about this just between us and everyone on Facebook and YouTube Live. So what it does is it guides you through. So the top of your funnel, so your awareness, you get brand awareness and reach campaigns. And these literally do what they say on the tin. If you want more people to be aware of your brand, you select a brand awareness campaign. If you want to reach more new people, you go for a reach campaign. Our consideration is then when people are aware of us, but they are considering purchasing. So this is your website traffic, your sign up to Facebook events. It is your lead generation. It is your video views. It's anything that will help encourage someone go from possibly being a customer to really kind of moving down to becoming really aware. And then your conversions are your final over the mark adverts. And they actively optimize for purchasing or for catalog sales. And what a lot of people don't understand is Facebook ads are so clever. They will actually optimize for those conversions. So if you want someone to go to your website, you create a traffic advert and optimize it for landing page views. So that tells Facebook you want people to go to your website and at least read the page, at least acknowledge what is there, not just bounce off. When you're ready for someone to convert, you set your advert to conversions, and you can actively set purchase or add to basket, and it'll actively find people who are likely to then follow that process through to the point that you want them to go to.
Brilliant. So you mentioned website traffic there, and we didn't actually talk about this in Manal Meets, but I have one on my website. I have a Facebook pixel, which I know helps Facebook understand who's visited my website. So can you explain a bit more about pixel and how people might use that?
So your Facebook pixel is just a really simple piece of code. So what it does is it sits on your website and it allows us to data capture. So what it does is allows us to understand who visits your website, where they come from, and it allows us to actively retarget them. So if we know we've got several different touch points, if we know someone has to visit the website 4 or 5 times, what we do is we place a pixel in our website and we then create a custom audience. So Facebook allows us to actively retarget people who've been on our website. The other great thing a Facebook pixel does is it allows us to create a lookalike audience. So it takes your custom data and creates a brand new audience using key matching demographics. So same interests, same age bracket, same income levels, same shopping habits. So they're really, really valuable audiences to use.
Fabulous. We've just had a question through from, I hope I'm saying this right, Honora. That's a beautiful name. Would you use the same advert for consideration and conversion?
No, I wouldn't, because they'll be at different points of your sales funnel. So for a consideration advert, I would want something that really kind of showcases the advert and sparks interest. Whereas for conversion, I would have that really clear buy now. And this is where it's so important to really know and understand your customer, because everyone has that key trigger point. And it may be that actually someone will only purchase on a sale, someone will only purchase on free delivery, someone will only purchase on flash sales. And actually this kind of offer mentality is becoming more and more popular. So I would make sure I really understand what pushes people over the edge, what's going to kind of hook people in, and then use that on my conversion advert. So consideration is all about still showing them how great you are and getting them to kind of really think about you in the purchase process. And then your conversion is that final, what gets them over the line. Conversion is where we also see those dynamic retargeting adverts that follow us around the web.
So they could be the same audience at consideration and conversion, but I'm guessing, with my marketing head on, somebody has to come through consideration in a Facebook ad, and the next logical step is for them to then go to conversion.
Yeah, so it's a really common thing that people skip a step. And don't get me wrong, they can still work. You can still get sales from consideration adverts, and you can still get sales from conversion adverts without consideration. However, if you want a really good sales funnel, it works better because as well, it gives you more opportunity to really hone your audiences down. It also gives you a really strong opportunity to make sure you're speaking to your right customer, you're getting the right person. And then it will eventually lower your overall marketing cost as Facebook starts to learn more and more about your audience.
I was just about to ask about the cost. Does it start recognizing who it needs to put your advert in front of?
Yeah, so the Facebook algorithm learns, and it learns so much about your customers. So if you have a full sales funnel, we can actively see who loses interest. We can actively get more different touch points to remarket to. But the Facebook algorithm will also start to optimize for the lowest. They always optimize to get the lowest hanging fruit, always. Okay. So the more we can kind of give it, the more data we can give it in consideration, the easier your conversion adverts become. Because we can also get data back. So we can see what platform they're on. We can see what age they're on. We can see how many times they're visiting the website. We can see if they're engaging organically. We can see what creative they respond to. And that helps us to create a really awesome final point conversion advert.
Cool. Well, Susan's got an interesting comment. She's got 2 funnels, one to get new sellers on her platform and one to get sales for the sellers. Mm-hmm. Best performing ad that drives sales is an ad aimed at sellers. It's very confusing. So I don't know. To me, that sounds a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, so it might be that actually it's worth looking at the creative. Because inadvertently, by saying this platform is aimed at people who are already on the platform, you're sparking the interest of other sellers who are like, well, I need to sell my items. And look, this website is obviously working for them. And we've run similar campaigns, and you would be amazed because actually it's social proof. And social proof in advertising, I'm sure Joanne next week will talk to you all about like the psychology of social, the in-group psychology. But social proof on your adverts or on your organic content is phenomenal. So if someone sees a carousel of people going, all these are happy sellers, you should buy here, and they themselves are a seller, they're going to be interested.
Yeah, amazing. Susan just said she's not complaining, it drives a lot of sales, but it doesn't work like it's supposed to. Any advice? I think if it's not working like it's supposed to be, it's still generating sales, I think that's a good thing, but maybe she needs to tweak something somewhere.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it is driving interest from sellers to list on the platform, but not driving conversions for the sellers themselves, maybe look at a different type of advert. So I don't know what your business is, Susan. So that's the one thing. It could be that actually you need to position yourself, even if you are a marketplace, as the seller, because then actually people will just feel they are buying from a reputable party type thing. It's quite hard to tell without looking at it, but I would definitely tweak some creative and possibly tweak the targeting depending on what you're going for.
Cool. So Yasmin, who owns my hairdressers that I go to, and I can't wait for them to reopen. She's wanting to do Facebook ads, but would you start off at awareness before you go anywhere else? Is that a good place to start?
So actually, controversially, if you are doing it for the first time and if you need a return on investment, we always start with consideration. Simply because it's impossible to prove a return on investment from brand awareness and reach. Really difficult. For lots of small businesses, you are better off running consideration and running a traffic advert or an event response advert or something that actively moves people down the sales funnel. Especially for hairdressers, you want people to book appointments, you want people to know about you, especially at the moment. I can't wait to go to a hairdresser. I've been cutting my own fringe for a year. That's literally what I've been doing. I've been trying to go up. It's quite funny. But actually, that will bring you more value in the long run. So I know you skip a step, but hopefully people going to your website or following your Facebook page, it will hopefully bring a return on investment. Whereas people recalling your brand is wonderful, but there's no guarantee of that ROI.
Yeah. So in terms of, let's take Yasmin as an example. If she were to do an advert at the consideration point, what would that creative look like? What might she put in the ad?
So if it were me, I would either go for a video, a slideshow, or a carousel. And I would make the creative very much like hair salon name. We're looking forward to welcoming you all back on this day. We can't wait to get back to doing what we love. Then with a carousel of different haircuts or different styles or anything that makes your experience unique.
Yeah.
Or
they've got some great images actually.
So that always helps. Or a slideshow, which you can create in Ads Manager, which kind of turns it into a video. That's what I would lean towards. And then I would put it to where people normally book. So if they normally send you a Facebook message, I would probably so you're not allowed to run adverts for Facebook Messenger anymore. So instead I would push people to the Facebook page. If they book via your website, I would put a link at the bottom, which is a direct to the booking link page. And especially if you are on small budgets and you can't build out a full sales funnel, just send people to where they can purchase. Because yes, you won't get as many results if you can build out this full funnel. But if you can't, at least you are hedging your bets and at least you are going to some kind of return on investment.
Yeah. I think Mary's got a similar question. So for your first advert, would you use reach and then move to consideration and then conversion? But I think you're saying that really you almost want to start at consideration.
Yeah. So if you're a big business and you come to us and you've got £10,000 a month, amazing. We will build you a full sales funnel that includes new page-like adverts and new follower adverts. For most small businesses, we start straight at consideration because at least then that's website traffic, at least then it's getting traction.
Okay. Yeah, Mary said that she would do the same for it. She's got an art and a gift shop and she runs workshops. She runs workshops, but other artists can run workshops in her space. So I'm guessing something like that where you could ask people to book onto workshops. That's it. But you might want to do a consideration, or you might even just go straight for conversion, right?
Yeah. So Oh, sorry. We've got a client at the moment who we're selling season passes for a garden, and we don't have a way to do it on their website. So we're sending people to Eventbrite. We have no way of retargeting them from Eventbrite at this moment in time. So we're just running traffic adverts to Eventbrite. So I know that we've had 300 visits and about 10% have converted. So we'd expect to see higher if we had that full sales funnel, but we're still getting conversions. We're still making money.
Yeah. That's very cool. So one question that I know I did ask you before, but somebody, one of my subscribers on my email list, emailed me today specifically and said actually two questions. So let's do the first one first. You've mentioned boosting posts. So boosting versus advertising. What's your advice?
So Boost Posts is Facebook's light introduction to adverts. I can't stand it. The problem with boosting adverts and boosting posts is the Facebook algorithm is designed to be light touch, so you don't have access to all of the targeting. It can work, but it doesn't give you the best results. You can't access a lot of the features. You are very limited. You're very limited to kind of what you can do with the creative. So you're better off always going into Ads Manager. Even if you're really pleased with an organic post and you want to turn that into an advert, you're better off going into Ads Manager because it opens up the whole world of targeting to you. And it gives you so many additional features, especially with the iOS 14 update as well. We have noticed that it's getting trickier and trickier to, even if you want to boost a post, to get a web link on it. So you are better off going into Ads Manager, which opens up all of the features.
Ads Manager can be quite confusing though. So where would you recommend? Because I'll tell you what, I'm a marketer and I understand marketing platforms, but I cannot wrap my head around Ads Manager. So how would you recommend getting started?
So always get some training. Shameless plug, we do one-to-one training. We actually have a course on Savvy, which is a full step-by-step course. And we are going to redo it because Ads Manager has now changed across the board. So that will be updated shortly. There is free training available. So we do some in the Facebook Blueprint group. We also do my She Means Business mentoring in there. But those decks tend to accelerate through. So I like to kind of do things step at a time, do things slowly. We do occasionally run kind of live courses as well, where we literally guide people through. The other thing, and actually I feel it's a lot of social media managers giving social medias a hard time. You don't have to have a complicated ads manager. You know, mine is complicated. I run large budgets, we need different audiences, different ad sets. So ours is quite hefty. But when you're first starting, there's nothing wrong with having campaign 1. This is the ad set. So the targeting, this is the ad. And just making it really simple for yourself. So it's always worth kind of investing in training with someone who's good and someone who's just going to, and if you go to training and the first thing they do is show you a complicated ad account, and if the first thing they do is try to tell you need all these different ad sets, just leave because they're trying to upsell their own products.
Like I've actually had a training session on Ads Manager with Catherine. So I can really recommend it because it was, I think it must have been quite painful for you. And I think I'm quite tech savvy, but it was really hard. So the training, I think, is a really important bit for what it is and just getting as much that you can out of it. I think, having that session is a good idea.
Yeah. And I mean, if there's enough interest or if your mailing list are interested, let me know and we can arrange something and see what we can do for your guys, if you like.
Nice. Susan's just said that she boosts posts which have multiple shops included with products tagged. On Facebook Manager, it can only go to one link, which is why I don't use it for this. Is there a better way I can advertise to multiple links? And she would be interested in booking a session with you.
If you did it in a carousel, it should work.
Okay.
It would be interesting to see exactly where it says multiple shops. So Susan, I don't know whether you mean multiple Facebook shops or multiple physical shops. Because actually it might be a case of if you have Facebook shopping switched on, we could do some tweaks in your commerce manager, which will allow them to all kind of pull together.
Yeah. Susan, I definitely recommend booking a session with Catherine. I know, because I've had a session and I can vouch for her expertise. So I think maybe you need to have a look at Susan's ad manager to see, or just a deeper conversation to see what's not working and how it can work.
Awesome.
Cool. So we've talked about audiences, and you mentioned lookalike audience. So can you explain a bit about how you build, like why would you build an audience, and why would you have a lookalike audience?
So within Facebook, we have 3 lead audiences. We have saved audiences, customs, and lookalikes. So saved audiences are those that we actively go in and create. And you can target people on anything: job title, shopping habits, interests, who they work for, degree level, relationship status, whether they've got friends with birthdays in the next 30 to 60 days. You would be amazed. So these are normally cold audiences. So they're when you start marketing, you haven't really got enough data, and they're a good way to kind of target people who are new to your business.
Yeah.
We then have custom audiences. So they are people that use your own data. So this could be an upload from your mailing list. It could be data capture from anyone who's engaged with you on social media. It could be people from your website with a pixel. So they're people who already know about you. They're already engaged with you. So they would go straight to conversion adverts. And then our lookalike audiences take matching demographics from your mailing list, for example, but find people who are brand new to you. So they are a new cold audience, but they have so many matching demographics. They're much more like a warm audience. So they're much more likely to convert than any other cold audiences.
It's almost like it's kind of you sort of taking a peek behind the curtain and going, well, the people that are buying from here have these and these things in common, and Facebook's going, oh, okay, and going off and going, right, here are all these people that I found that match that.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. But it does it to such a superior level. It's crazy. It'll be interest, relationship status, shopping habits, you name it, Facebook will find that data.
Cool. Well, I can see we're just about running out of time. So how long should ads run? That was a question that someone in my Facebook group asked me to sort of get a good return on investment.
So that's a tricky one. It's the same with the budget should you use question. So I like to, a good rule of thumb is if you're starting, 10 or 20 pounds for a week is a good amount of budget and a good amount of time for something to run. Don't leave, even if you've got endless budget, don't leave one advert run forever and ever and ever, because people get creative and audience fatigue. If you're doing a lot of it depends on the goal. If you're doing a flash sale, just do it for a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you want people, it's time limited.
Yeah.
And so it's not worth running it for longer.
Yeah. Mother's Day, for example, anyone who's like selling tickets, so using the season pass as an example, we did 4 days before Mother's Day and that was it. And then next advert.
Gosh.
Yeah. We had
that's quite cool. It's not a lot of time and potentially not a lot of budget either.
We spent £7.50. We got a £200 return in 4 days. Yeah.
There you have it, folks. You need to know how to do these, and when you know what you're doing, it's really going to help you to get that return. Because confession time, I've boosted a couple of posts and they didn't work. They didn't do anything. So don't do what I did. I would recommend. I've put in the comments, I've put a link to Catherine's website. So anyone who wants to get in touch with Catherine, I know there's a contact form on there and you can check out what they do. That's the main website. And sorry, can you read out the Oh So Savvy website to me?
Yeah, it's just ohsosavvy.com.
Okay, it would help if I could spell. .com.
Yeah.
There we go. So Oh So Savvy has all the resources. I've also put a link in the comment to the Minal Meets interview that I did with Catherine. It's got some other questions in there that we didn't get time to ask today. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. Something's going on. So thank you so much, Catherine, for joining me today and taking the time. It's been fun. I don't see you very much. I haven't seen Catherine for maybe 2 years. When was the last time we saw each other? It was at Facebook, wasn't it?
It was Facebook.
Last year.
Yeah, Facebook last year, just before, it was February, just before COVID happened.
Everything happened. So yeah, I haven't seen you for a year. Gosh.
No.
Well, it was nice seeing your face today and not talking online. If you want to watch back this interview, it'll be on Facebook and on YouTube as soon as I've ended this. And don't forget to put the 6th of April in your calendars for my chat with Joanna Michaels, all about social media psychology, which is really interesting. Thank you again, Catherine. And everyone, have a good rest of the day. It's a nice sunny day, and I'm going to go for a walk at some point quite soon. So, and I'm sure Catherine's going to go out and about because she lives in a beautiful part of the country. So you're welcome, everyone. Everyone's saying thank you. So I hope you enjoyed today. Check back for the recording in a couple of minutes. Take care, everyone. Bye.